Potential is a four-letter word, wrote Maria del Russo in 2019, in an essay about identity, career pressure, and the slow implosion of trying to be exceptional. At first, it sounds like a punchline, but the longer you sit with it, the more it stops being clever and starts feeling true. Because that one word, potential, has probably shaped your life more than any other. You were told you had it, that you were full of it, overflowing with it even. And from that moment forward, it stopped being a compliment. It became a responsibility, a contract. One you never signed, but still owe something to. Potential was the praise that aged into pressure. It didn't say you were good. It said you could be good. If you worked hard enough, if you stayed hungry, and if you didn't waste it. And suddenly the fear of wasting it became louder than the joy of living it. You didn't just want to succeed, you needed to. Because failing would mean you betrayed something sacred, the promise of who you were supposed to become. But here's the part nobody tells you. That promise? It was never yours. It was marketed to you. The word potential works like a product, packaged by schools, employers, coaches, even parents. It sells a future version of yourself, not the person you are, but the person they hope you'll be someday. And in return, you try to become that person. You push harder, you perform more. You say yes when you're already tired, take on more than you can handle, stay up late trying to prove that you're not wasting it. Because the fear isn't that you'll fail, it's that you'll be average, forgettable, ordinary. So potential keeps you striving. Not because it's real, but because it's addicting. It's the carrot that never gets closer. Because every time you reach it, the definition changes. There's always more you could be. And that's the trap. You don't even stop to ask what you want. You're too busy trying to become what you were told you should. This is how burnout begins. Not from doing too much, but from trying to live up to something that was never clearly defined. Trying to cash in on a compliment with no expiration date and no instructions. This happens everywhere. In corporate offices, where high-potential employees are praised with one hand and overworked with the other. In classrooms, where gifted students are loaded with pressure until they lose the joy of learning. In self-help culture, where unlocking your potential is code for keep buying until you feel like you're becoming someone. Even in relationships, you could be so amazing if you just, as if love is earned through effort, not presence. And what makes it worse is that potential is always future tense. It can never be proven now. It lives in tomorrow, next year, the version of you that hasn't arrived. So you spend your life feeling slightly behind. Not bad, just not enough. Always a few steps away from being who you're supposed to be. Always mid-transformation. Always developing. It becomes exhausting, not just emotionally, but existentially. Because when your identity is tied to potential, you don't get to feel proud of who you are, only guilty for who you're not. And guilt is a hell of a fuel source. It keeps the machine running. Companies love it, colleges fund it, coaches monetize it. As long as you believe there's a better you just out of reach, you'll keep working, keep consuming, keep chasing. Behavioral science even has a name for it. The Zeigarnik effect, the tendency for the mind to fixate on incomplete goals. It's why potential stays in your head longer than any real success. It's unfinished. And unfinished is uncomfortable, so you keep coming back to it. Again and again and again, until one day you look up and realize you've spent years proving yourself to a ghost. A version of you that only ever existed in other people's hopes. And maybe marketing decks. Here's the dangerous idea. What if you've already fulfilled your potential? Not in the cheesy, motivational way, but in the real, quiet, slightly uncomfortable way. What if there is no higher version of you waiting to be discovered? What if this, who you are right now, is not a draft, but the thing itself? What if you stopped striving to become someone and started giving attention to the someone you already are? It sounds radical, but it might be the most honest thing you ever do. Because once you stop chasing potential, you start living. You stop optimizing every moment for performance. You stop filtering your hobbies through hustle. You start making things again. Badly, joyfully, pointlessly. You begin to realize that the opposite of wasted potential isn't success, it's presence. And presence can't be bought, can't be graded, can't be promised. It just is. And for the first time, maybe that's enough. This is faulty thinking, where bad ideas make dangerous sense. And today's idea is this. Your potential was never a promise. It was a pitch. And you don't have to buy it anymore.